Team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
The pregame show is brought to you by La Huerta Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit lahuertaimports.com for more details. Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Good evening, and we welcome you inside the Powassan Sportsplex as your Powassan Voodoo's get ready to take on the French River Rapids in what feels like the millionth meeting between these two teams this season alone. The Voodoos coming in on a bit of a hot streak. They've won 9 in a row, looking to make it 10, which would match the season high from the fall earlier this year. Good evening, not good afternoon. I always seem to not know my times of days. It is dark outside, so it must be the evening. So I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent and, of course, cameraman Mike, who always brings us all such wonderful views from the Powassan Sportsplex. Of course, if you're on Hockey TV, if you're on YouTube, well, enjoy our Voodoos logo provided by cameraman Mike. A very nice logo done indeed. And might as well bring in Mr. Ben Sargent now. Who are our players to watch in this one, Ben?
Well, today we're going to be looking at for the Voodoos, who are going for their 10th straight win, by the way, as they've been very hot in their last few games, as they're sitting currently third, just below Hearst in the standings there. We're going to be looking at Tucker Shields, a guy who has yet to record a point when I've been at the Powassan Sportsplex. So, but he did come in their previous game, scored a goal 30 seconds in, and then he ended up getting 2 goals in that game. So looking to keep that hot streak going. And on the other side of that for the Rivers, we have Connor Picard, who's been a great addition for them. He has 14 goals in 24 games, just one behind the leading goal scorer for the Rapids, Josh Russell, who has 15 goals this season.
Yeah, the Powassan Voodoos on a hot streak, like you mentioned. And, of course, Tucker Shields being a big factor in that 8-0 victory over the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners last weekend. scoring a goal 25 seconds into the game and then scoring another goal by the end of the first period, whereas, well, as Ben has mentioned, we have yet to see him score for the Voodoos, but so if any and all, if Tucker Shields doesn't score, I already told head coach Peter Goulet this yesterday at the battalion game, if Tucker Shields doesn't score today, all complaints can be directed towards Ben Sargent. So we'll have to see what happens there, Ben, as the Voodoos come out on ice with the French River Rapids already there. And we're going to get ready for the national anthems here momentarily as we see referee Adam Morell out there as well. So you know it's always a fun game when we get Adam Morell out there. And he's a good guy. I got to give him credit on this one. I've been pretty hard on him all year long, but he's been pretty good, as we'll take you to the national anthems here. The American and Canadian anthems, I should say, here at the Powassan Sportsplex.
Of the American and Canadian national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly screaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
All right, we'll take you through your starting goaltenders here this evening between the Voodoos and the French River Rapids. In net for the Rapids is Matthew Perdue. In 11 games, he's 2-6 with a 4.26 goals against average and .887 save percentage, so not necessarily great numbers. But on the flip side, we have Canon Flageau in net for the Voodoos. In 6 games, he has 18 wins, 6 losses, and 2.61 goals against average, and a .913 save percentage. So, Canon Flageau, who just recently committed to an NCAA team in the Division III, looking every bit of the part of the number one goalie here in this game.
Yeah, and him and Dracula have both been fantastic in net for the Voodoos. When you look at both of them Dracula with a sub 2 goals against average, but both of them have been absolutely fantastic. And the thing, though, if you look at the French River Rapids so far this season, this month, in February, only one win, and that was against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners on Friday in a 3-2 victory. So, big game for French River as they continue to try and make their way into the playoffs, as the playoffs got a little bit slimmer this year.
Yeah, from 5 teams in the division down to 4, as there used to be a best-of-3 series between the bottom 2 seeds before they get the honor of playing the number 1 seed. As we're underway here at the Sportsplex, French River in their nice road navy blues is out front quickly, and that was a good shot on goal there by who but Tucker Shields in the slot, looking to get a goal there to get the Voodoos in flight early.
Well, a good start for Tucker Shields, and that's something, too, that I don't know what it is, but every time I'm here, he just seems to disappear off the ice. Like, he doesn't get a lot of opportunities. But again, when you look at French River, this could be a game, I think, for the Voodoos that they could put this game away pretty early with the way that they've played them lately.
Well, and you had to think, just to prove, or just back to your point against the win against Kirkland Lake, you had to think when it came to the French River and Kirkland Lake, last week that something had to give. Both teams on lengthy losing streaks. You knew that one of those teams was obviously going to come away with a win. There's no way both teams were going to lose that game. That would have been a little wild. As now the French River Rapids into the Voodoo zone with a quick shot on Flageau, and the rebound sits there for Powassan to catch and try to get out of their zone. They can't. French River again in their road navy blues. Gorgeous looking jerseys are going left to right in this period. The Voodoos in their home whites are going right to left as Sturge throws the puck out front. It's now Leotino that throws it back around. Sturge not playing in his usual spot as he gets a wraparound attempt there. And then the Purdue makes the save on that one. Sturge, usually a defenseman, playing in place of the sick Thomas Gazic, who isn't in this game as of right now.
Yeah, the last time these two faced each other off at the beginning of the month, it was the Voodoos came away with a 5-2 victory. As they've continued to, I believe it's only one loss that the Voodoos have faced against the Rapids this year, though the Rapids with only a handful of points this season, so wins have been a premium for them.
Bit of a shock to the system for the Voodoos, if you ask me, losing to the French River Rapids. Usually this team, comes in priding themselves on being a tough team, and French River has not had the season that they've wanted after they made their first playoff appearance last year. The puck's in the slot, trying to get knocking away at it, but his back's out front, and he can't quite get a pass with Jack Kelly, who scored 2 goals in that win against Kirkland Lake. You can see his post-game interview with myself on our Frontline socials as well, as now Thompson with the puck flips it up the ice. Stopped by French River, and a big hit here right in front of our broadcast booth as a Rapids player lays on the ice as Picard, and he slowly gets up. That was a big hit from Chase Thompson, who has been playing hometown hero here, as the Voodoos are going to get the first penalty of the game, as it's likely going to Thompson for that hit.
Yeah, pretty good hit on Picard. Obviously, he's our player to watch for the Rapids as he's up and skating around, so no issue. But we're going to get an early power play opportunity, and big game for both these teams. You look at Powassan coming to this game, 65 points. They are 1 point behind Hearst for second. Obviously, that could be big for home ice advantage. And then you look at the French River Rapids. We talked about how the playoffs are now different. There's now 2 teams from each division that's not going to make the playoffs. French River right now holds that lead 2 points over the Cochrane Crunch.
Slim pickings. I believe Cochrane does have a game in hand, though.
They have 2 games in hand right now.
So, if you're French River, every point matters, obviously, right now. Back to the point for Boucher. Boucher takes the shot, gets into Flageau, and he covers that one up quickly. Also interesting to note, Chase Thompson, who was in the box for that boarding call, former French River Rapid. He started out the season with French River, traded for Will Burray from the Voodoos. Both former Trappers going the opposite way here in that trade. But for Chase Thompson, he's flourished since coming over here. Will Burray had 12 points in 42 games now on the season as well. Boucher with some speed through the neutral zone. Throws the puck onto the far side corner. Back to the point. Quickly over here now with a good chance there by the Rapids. And now Boucher, who can't corral the pass. And now the puck sent down the ice. And the Rapids will have to pick it up with 1:16 left on the man advantage. French River, Etier losing the puck, but gets it back quickly to Boucher. Boucher, again, showing off a little bit of speed, gets into the Voodoo zone. Smetham picks up the loose puck, though, and throws it right back down the ice to kill some more time here on this penalty. Just under a minute now left on that man advantage.
Well, we talked about French River. This could be a great opportunity for them to get an early lead. On the other side, the Voodoos have been very good at getting early leads in hockey games in the first period, so could be a good change of pace for the Rapids.
Rapids already playing at an even game longer than Kirkland Lake did last week, and as a shot just narrowly misses Flageau's cage. And now the Voodoos get a hold of it and send it right back down the ice. 30 seconds remain on the man advantage, and that's going to be Purdue out to play the puck. Rapids up through the neutral zone here. That's backs into the Voodoo zone. Starts and stops, gives it back to Nocky. Nocky takes the shot. It's over the net of Flageau. And now on the far side half wall, it's Nocky again at the point. Nocky sends it in. Good tip there by French River. Turned aside by the goaltender from Colorado. As Nocky in his own zone, throws the puck cross ice. O'Brien picks it up, takes the shot. What a save there by Purdue. And we're just over 4 minutes gone here. It's back to 5-on-5. The center ice pass by Patrick. Couldn't find his intended target of Strinchuluk. And now Bax flips the puck in, knocked down by Little, then a big hit there, and Bax is down. I can tell you those stanchions don't have much padding here in Powassan. Over to Strinchuluk, Bax slow to his feet. Voodoo's still in the possession. Little throws it on net, and now Boucher gets a hold of it, and we're going to tend to that Rapids player as he's slow to get off the bench. I was over there during warm-up, and I can tell you the padding there, it says Powassan Hawks on it. It moves, so it doesn't really cover the metal all that well. It's a little bit of padding. It's almost as if like it doesn't exist, and then when it moves, it really doesn't exist.
Yeah, and thankfully for them, at least they're playing with full cages here, so at least there's some sort of facial
coverage
coverage
as well.
Yeah, it's not like
Max Pacioretty or whatever was the Dano Chara 10 years ago.
And yeah, where they had not even a visor. So hopefully he'll be okay. It doesn't look like he's off to the dressing room. I believe he's still on the bench. So maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit as you talked about how those stanchions aren't very friendly.
Little tries to knock the puck in. He's still chasing Dayton Murray for the all-time Voodoos lead in the season as he's coming up on 45 points. I believe he's just 4 points out of the lead as well. As now French River with the puck. And that's Bure who knocks that one down. Shields in his own zone, flips the puck around. Strinchuluk picks up the loose one in his own zone. Stops up, throws the puck up ice. Tries to get it to Smetham. Smetham tried to knock the stick out of the hand of a Raven player and couldn't. 14 and a half minutes here remain in this first period. Scoreless so far, although French River has the edge in shots 5-2. Puck in for Bure. Bure plays it back to his defenseman. Boucher throws it around his end boards. Now slowly out of their zone is French River. Looking up ice for the pass. And they do. That was Mason. And now it's up for Leotino. Leotino stick handling in the neutral zone, gets around Mason. Throws it across the blue line to O'Brien. O'Brien throws it for Leotino. Chance there. Purdue stops that one. Chance out front. Lemke can't bury the biscuit. And now Lemke battling behind the net. And the puck is up to the point, and the Voodoos just keep it in. Leotino from the point over Purdue's glove and back off the end wall. Risman keeps the puck in. It comes around to O'Brien on the far side half wall. He misses the puck, and Mason tries to get it out, but he can't as the Voodoos keep it in. Another quick shot on Purdue, and then Powassan goes for a change. Boucher up the ice, gets to the red line, sends it in, although he didn't, and Charlie Giesler, the linesman, said he didn't. So we will get icing here against French River.
Yeah, Nicholas Leotino doing a great job in that last rush to secure the zone and get a couple of really good opportunities. 15 points in 27 games, including 6 goals for Leotino. He's had a pretty good second half of the season so far. And again, you see doing a great job of starting off that initial rush. And the Voodoos very close to making this a 1-0 game about 6 minutes in.
Also for the record, Alex Little has 45 points. Dayton Murray set the regular season scoring for a defenseman at 48. So it could happen here this evening, much like Ty Nelson, as we get another icing call here. Much like Ty Nelson's trying to chase records with the North Bay Battalion, Alex Little's doing the same here in Powassan.
Yeah, another guy who's had a great time is Reese Smetham, as we talked about this on the podcast, but named one of the 3 stars last week. 20 goals, 10 assists in 44 games. He's been a great goal-scoring threat for the battalion, for the Voodoos, sorry.
Puck in on the near side half wall. Patrick sends it behind the net, and Boucher picks it up. Now coming out with it is Kelly. Kelly throws the puck in, stopped by Purdue, and the puck down the ice. Flageau will be out to play it. Tries to get it over to Ricci. He does. His pass was a little high, and then Ricci's pass goes cross ice, but it will go for icing as it didn't touch anyone as it went cross ice.
Well, cool thing, Voodoos alum Daniel Walker signing with the AHL, signed an AHL deal with Syracuse, as he used to played a season for the Voodoos back in 2016, before he went to the battalion. Currently playing for the University of Waterloo, so it's always nice to see alumni of the Voodoos, of course, go on to do bigger, better things, and that's one step away from the big show.
Daniel Walker also, I don't think a name that many people would have thought would be going up there, as many people didn't think he'd get past the NOJHL level due to his skating, but played for years as a fan favorite for the North Bay Battalion. Even played through a cracked vertebrae in his back for the battalion. A warrior in every sense of the word, and you know what number he wore in North Bay? Number 11. Gee, I wonder if that has something to do with Liam Armsby now wearing number 11. As Little goes after the puck. As cross ice, and that's Wilkie with it. Wilkie up to Little. Little, he gains the zone, takes the shot, and he can't get that one to go as it hits a shin pad in front. And now French River with possession, flings it off the glass, and Little's going to get called for a hand pass there. Daniel Walker, actually before him, Mike Baird wore number 11. So it's always those sandpaper kind of players in North Bay wearing number 11, it seems. But Daniel Walker, interesting to note, in the hockey news, they used to have a section called Jersey Hound. And when the battalion first were wearing the Centennial jerseys as an alternate here and there, Daniel Walker was featured in the hockey news in the Jersey Hound section. It was a picture of him wearing the Centennials jersey.
Was it the white one?
No, it was the black one.
Oh, well, they missed out on that one because those white ones are nice.
They've only worn the white jersey in those Centennial nights once.
And it was nice.
And I think they lost.
It was a glorious night, though. Very beautiful from the eyes.
Much unlike last night where they wore the blacks and it was an ugly game all around. But anyways, that's just my opinion. As Lemke knocks the puck in. I can't say enough good things about Daniel Walker, one of my favorite battalion players of all time. Got traded to Oshawa for his overage season. And when he came to Oshawa, he was kind enough to come and see me, actually. He found me, and we took a picture. And I said, "You look great, Dan. You're just wearing the wrong colors."
Well, we can't overstate how important those university contracts are. We see Flageau going to NCAA Division III and Service, another guy who just recently committed to RMC. So it's you always know that this, even if you're in your 20 years and you're in the NOJHL and you say, I'm not in the OHL, I might not have a chance. You know, university is a big part on how people can get signed. As they do indeed, as the Rapids with some speed into the Voodoos zone. And that's another thing, too, is a lot of players at the NOJHL level or the Junior A level do have the talent, as we're going to get another icing call here. But a lot of the players choose to play Junior A because they'd rather go the NCAA route. And they can't, if you play a game in the OHL, you have to buy back your eligibility with an NCAA team. Yeah, and it's tough, right? Because it's weird because the OHL is such a young developmental league for Canadians, but then the NCAA is like kind of the main developmental league for Americans. Obviously, you're a little bit older, so you could definitely see that, especially at this age. If you're not playing for an OHL team, they might have the skill, but you also might be just on the cusp, and instead of playing maybe a bench role or something like that, it might be better to get you a little bit more experience. Voodoo's on a quick 2-on-1 over to Sturge. Sturge alone gets a shot, and then a high stick to try and knock it in. Can't go anywhere for the Voodooos. Good save there by Purdue to keep it deadlocked at 0-0. Leotino pinching, tried to get the puck out front, couldn't. And now it's down the ice, and it's Risbin with it. Risbin in his own zone, the battalion prospect. From Sudbury, up to Shields. Knocked in for Vassos. Vassos couldn't hold it though, as now Vassos picks it up and he carries it into the Rapid zone. Vassos plays it off the boards to Shields. Shields back to the point for Ricci. Ricci takes the shot. Purdue somehow saw that through a maze of bodies. And now it's out to the neutral zone for Fullerton. Fullerton flips the puck in, takes a hard hit on his bench, and now Vassos plays the puck. Vassos in the far side corner. Chips it up to the point for Fullerton. Back in for Kelly. Kelly cross ice for Ricci. Ricci with the shot. Purdue got that. Although he made it look interesting at first. It looked like he didn't know where it was. Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit here to the Rapids, as they've done a great job of keeping the battalion off the score. Now, the last time they met each other, there wasn't a goal until the 3:57 mark of the second period, who was our player to watch for the Rapids, Connor Picard. So the Rapids doing a great job in that first period stopping goals. McMillan trying to change that narrative a little bit, just missed the net as he picked his corner. Now McMillan in the near or far side boards behind the net to Lemke. Lemke out front. His pass is picked off by the Rapids. And now French River throws the puck cross ice, and Little picks it up before he throws it back into the team from Noelville's zone. Looking for some options. French River starts out the ice slowly. Gains the red line, throws it in on Flageau. And Lemke looks to take a hit, but instead it looks like the Rapids player, that was Melsness, took the brunt of that one. Kelly loses the puck. Now it's Bure on a 2-on-1. Bure with the shot. Nearly beat Flageau, but Cannon Flageau stands tall there, and that'll bring us to our mid-period break here
on the Frontline Game Day broadcast. We'll be back with more on the other side of this.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
And of course, still nothing here between the two teams, although Powassan has the edge in shots 8-6. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Long, cameraman Mike Brown, of course. Ben Sargent, not
Wow.
Ben Long. That is really
What a guy.
mean of me.
That is true.
I am so
Wow.
terribly sorry.
I produce for you and do color, and I get the wrong person.
It's because Ben's done that before too. Wait, you're doing a much better job of it.
We'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not fired yet.
Well, just looking here at the numbers here for, we talked about Connor Picard. So far, it looks like he's got 4 goals, I believe it is, against Powassan this season. So he's been able to put the puck in the net when you look at his 14 all year. So, yeah, he's definitely been a good threat against Powassan, and it's gonna be interesting to see kind of who breaks the scoring here. But the Voodoos have been very, very good at scoring early in hockey games. And again, we talked about the last time they faced no scoring in the first period, no penalties in the first either. As if you look at it now, halfway through this period, same thing.
2-on-1 for Powassan. Smetham to Shields. Quick shot, and it falls behind him. And there it is. The Powassan Voodoos are in flight here in the first period. It's not Tucker Shields.
I think that was Patrick who ended up putting that one
It's
by.
Patrick, yeah.
No, this is Patrick.
Why is it always Powassan that I have issues with goal calls?
Either way, like you look at that play, and as soon as I said like nothing's really been happening in this period, the Voodoos have had a couple opportunities. It's just a 2-on-1. I believe that was McMillan and Patrick going down.
It was.
And it's
Patrick
just,
and Smetham.
Smetham, sorry. And the one thing that happens is you just get the goaltender just down and out, and Patrick able to put it above his pad, and all of a sudden it's 1-0 Voodoos. And the one thing the Voodoos don't do is give up a lot of goals, so it's going to be a big uphill battle here for French River.
For Ryan Patrick, that's his 13th of the season. And Reese Smetham adds one to his loss column here on his Cy Young candidate, as he's now has 20 goals, 11 assists. The baseball fans will get that reference. As a Shields on the far side wall tries to throw it in. Now another chance there by Sturge is turned away, and the defenseman looking every bit the forward, as now he gets some rough stuff here after the whistle. We'll have to see if any penalties come out of this one. As now, it looks like there's some helmets off behind the net.
Looks like there's some gloves off. The referee was already pointing to the box.
Yeah, Adam Morel is not having any of that.
And this is something where, again, if you're French River, like you've just given up a goal, you don't really need to get into too many rough stuff, but it looks like the Voodoos might go on the power play here.
Yeah, that's Bouchard to the box.
As we'll see. Oh, it looks like
Sturge as well.
Sturge is also going off, so it might just be coincidental rougher. They show the roughing minors there, so it might just be. We'll see if it's 4-on-4. I believe it's 5-on-5 though. I think they're just going to call it coincidental roughing.
Yeah, it's 5-on-5. French River has 5 guys out there.
Unless that changes as they're trying to figure everything out. Maybe where they want to drop the puck.
Why do they want to drop it in the Voodoo zone though?
Well, unless they believe that Sturge.
the Voodoos are getting a penalty out of this. It looks like, at least on the board.
That doesn't make a lot of sense why they would bring it back to the Voodoo zone.
Well, because if the Voodoos get the penalty, right, then French River starts the power play.
Oh, you're saying, sorry, my apologies. I thought you meant that Voodoo is going on the power play.
No,
Yes. No, I got you there. So, yeah, as there is
Vassos
going back into the box, too. So it looks like an extra 2 for roughing.
Shields in for the draw.
Unless they gave them a fighting. I'm not sure.
I don't know. We'll have to hear what Mike Brito has to say here. Backs to Nocky. Back to Backs. Backs looks for a shooting lane. Can't. That's Nocky. Nocky to Russell. Russell, his pass a little bit too hot to handle as it's tipped out of play, and we'll get another stoppage here.
Well, they called the Patrick goal here, but we're still waiting to see if this is going to be obviously roughing. If it's fighting, it's 5 minutes, right? So it's a lot longer, but I only said that because it looked like the gloves might have come off at some point. But we're going to have to still wait to see if what they call. But either way, a great opportunity here for French River to try to tie things up again.
I wouldn't want to see Bouchard's knuckles after that one if he was punching against the cage of. As now a quick shot in, blocked in front. Shields gets to it and knocks it back as he would have been punching against the cage of Sturge. His helmet never came off.
It looks like 2 minutes for roughing. Yeah.
So he's gaining. It's going to be 2 minutes roughing for everyone.
Oh, they're going to call
2
a
minutes
slash.
slash and roughing. Yeah, that makes sense. Naki knocks it in. Russell blows a tire. Little battling for it. Tries to squirt the puck loose as they're battling along the Zamboni doors. Back to the point for Naki. Naki can't keep the puck in, as he would have been in prime real estate there to move the puck with a lot of open ice. Up to Russell. Russell flings the puck around the Voodoo zone. Less than a minute left on the man advantage for French River here. They're second of the game, but Powassan leads 1-0. Back to the point for Naki. Naki cross ice for Russell. Russell throws his pass across the zone, and nobody was there to tip that one in. As now, that's Picard trying to throw it out front to Bax. Bax takes the shot just wide of the net. Flageau looked behind him, but the puck hit the end boards, and Powassan sends the puck down the ice with 25 seconds remaining on the man advantage up to Bax. Bax feeling pressure from Lemke. And now it's down to O'Brien. Back to Bax. Bax through the neutral zone. Carries the puck up, takes the shot, it's blocked. And now Leontino whacks at it, gets it back to the point. French River can't get a pass away. Patrick picks up the loose puck and sends it up for O'Brien. O'Brien on a partial break, tried to get around, couldn't get it around the French River defender, then throws a big hit. Good move there on the back check for French Rivers. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So we'll have to see the two players will have to come off in the next, or at the next whistle. They'll come back on. There's no service into the zone. Sharp angle shot turned aside by Purdue. And now French River looks to scramble a chance here. Hill into the Voodoo zone. Tries to throw it in deep. Leontino gets to it and sends it back down the length of the ice. That's going to go for icing, however, though. So French River will get another offensive zone draw with 5:47 left in this first period.
Well, yeah, kind of nice with that penalty. Now, obviously, Surge not allowed out of the penalty box, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if
I
that
think
has
it's
to do
2
with
minutes maybe started after.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess so. If you got a double minor, that would make a lot more sense. As now we're back to 5-on-5, but still, Voodoo's doing a great job defensively at this point, just keeping the Rapids from even gaining the zone.
In the zone, French River goes cross ice. Back to Etche. Etche can't keep it, but French River keeps the puck in. That was Bure. And now, Melsness sends the puck in, and that was Bure with another shot. Flageau making the save on that one.
Well, Flageau's looks pretty good. There have been a couple of opportunities that French River has had, though. On that last power play, Russell had a great chance where he winded up for a one-timer. Wasn't able to get the shot off, and then ended up passing the puck. But French River's had their opportunities. They just haven't been able to connect with the ones that Flageau's been giving them. And other than that, Flageau's looking very strong with the way he's controlling his rebounds.
Shields wins the draw back to himself. And he picks the puck up below the goal line. Looks up ice. He gets the pass quickly up to Vassos. Vassos throws the puck back in deep with Kelly looking to go after it. Throws it back out in front for Shields. Shields battling for it. And French River comes away with it as that's Boucher. Boucher. Ricci picks it up. And he fans on his pass out of the zone and gives it back to Shields. Shields. Cross ice to Fullerton. Fullerton sends the puck down. No icing will call there as he got the red line. And now we have another injured Rapids player. As it's going to be a walking infirmary here soon for French River.
Yeah, that's now the second player that went down due to a hit. Voodoo's thrown around their body today. They had a couple of good opportunities, but overall, again, you look at this first period, it's been pretty back and forth. This definitely hasn't been a period where we've seen the Voodoos dominate the first 20 minutes. The French Rivers held their own, and obviously you look at that Patrick goal earlier in transition against Purdue, and overall, I think you got to be pretty happy for French River the way you played the first 15 minutes. Is again a team where you should really be kind of outmatched, and they're holding their own so far.
Down the ice, Flageau stops it, and that's another thing. French River played Blind River at the NOJHL Showcase, the last game out of 8 games that we did over 2 days. And Blind River, at the time was top of the West, and French River was the bottom of the East. So it was David versus Goliath, and through the first half of the game, French River really held their own. But as the game got on, Blind River just wore them down and ended up taking off in that game. So we'll have to see if that's just a trait of French River, because it seems to be every time they play Powassan out front. And a good chance there by Lemke is turned aside by Purdue. What a save there. Now we're going to get an icing call here, and Powassan's going to get another chance offensively. And my goodness, what a chance there by Lemke.
Yeah, and you talked about the French River Rapids kind of like slowing down over the period of the game, and I think the biggest thing that's happened here is they just don't have any finishers on their team. If you look, again, we talked about their top goal scorer being Josh Russell with 15 goals. They just don't have that guy who's able to consistently score. And in this league, if you're a really, really good player, you can kind of carry the team on your back a little bit and find ways through the defense, find ways to score goals. French River just doesn't really have that player that's been able to take the next step.
Although I will give Russell credit, 38 points in 43 games is nothing to sneeze at for sure. But yeah, the goal scoring side leaves a little to be desired for sure. Smetham through the neutral zone, gains the zone, over to Patrick. Patrick takes a shot and misses wide of the net. Now French River going the other way. That was Campanella who threw it up the ice. Hill picks it up. He's well offside. And now the puck goes in out long after the whistle. Flageau wasn't very happy about it as the shot came a couple of seconds after the whistle, and so neither does Powassan, and the referees got in there right away.
Yeah, and you talked about with Russell, obviously 23 assists. One of the things that helps you score a lot of goals, there's kind of two ways, right? There's the people who can actually shoot the puck. You get a lot of crisp passing in transition, but a big one is just second chance opportunities. Being able to crash the net, pick up rebounds, and get those kind of those lunch pail kind of goals that you see in that high slot area. And French River hasn't been able to capitalize on a couple of mistakes of what Voodoos have made defensively, where Flageau's maybe given up a bad rebound, or on the flip side, they've been able to find those holes from the passing lane, but they haven't been able to get the shots in.
Picard with the shot. As we're going to get a hand pass called by the referee, who is back by the French River zone there. But he's still will still have a face-off that comes out of the Voodoo zone, as French River looked to have something cooking there off the face-off.
Well, I thought for a second Carson Ricci was going to get a penalty as he kind of had his arm wrapped around the French River player, but it ended up being a hand pass, so maybe Ricci getting away with one there.
Shields in his own zone. Chips the puck up and out. Boucher tried to keep it in, couldn't for very long. As Boucher now throws the puck in around the end boards, and Ricci picks it up and throws it back across for Fullerton. Fullerton passes it to Shields. Shields up to O'Brien. Loses it back to Fullerton. And now backs, throws the puck up blindly. And now we get a bit of a foot race here with Picard and Fullerton. Picard winning that one, but takes the puck right into the boards. 3 minutes left here in this first period. Powassan leads 1-0. Alex Little with the puck now behind his net. Little over to O'Brien, back to Little. Little nearly lost the puck for a moment and then puts it in behind the net for O'Brien. O'Brien back to the point. Russell nearly gave it away. Over to Little now. Little backhands the puck in. And now with it is Lemke. Lemke throws the puck in and around the end boards. And now French River just slows things down in their own zone as they try to set up a play. Backs up the ice to Campanella, to Bure. Bure loses the puck. And now it's Vassos into the French River zone. Vassos tries to get around his man, leaves it for Kelly. And now Bure throws the puck up ice there for Mason. Back to Patrick. Patrick throws the puck into the French River zone. And Mason brings the puck behind his net as they try to set up again with 1:40 remaining here in this first period. Etche throws the puck into the Voodoo zone across ice. Leotino to Patrick. Up to Service. Service with some speed over to McMillan. Back to Risman. Risman with the chance. And he can't put that one in as he crashes hard into the boards. And Matt McDougall, the trainer of the Voodoos, is going to have to rush off and make sure that his defenseman here is okay, as that was a dangerous collision with the end boards as Risman just kind of ran out of real estate on his attempt.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of French River players go down in this game, none of them needing trainer attention, as they've all been kind of right around the bench of the Rapids. But unfortunately, as you said, it's just you go hard with a lot of momentum towards the net, and unfortunately Risman goes right into the boards, kind of in a dangerous spot, kind of chest first, head first into the boards, and no movement so far, and hopefully he will be okay, but we'll see if he, with a minute 25 I'm to go in this period, I imagine he'll probably just end up going right to the dressing room, and we'll have to see if he comes back for the second period.
He's rolling over now onto his back. And he looks like he's trying to get up.
And you always have to be careful about spinal with this. We saw this in the game, if you watched the Battalion game yesterday with Cohen, of course.
He's now at least been discharged from hospital.
Which is a great news to hear, as Lukin got kind of a clean hit, but in a very kind of dangerous position, as he was ended up taking off on a stretcher, and now it looks like Risman is up and not under his own power. He's being helped, but the other thing too is he might have just gotten the air knocked out of him, and if that's ever happened to you, it's about 10 to 15 minutes of you can barely breathe, and then you kind of feel a lot better. So hopefully that's what the case is for Risman, but I imagine that he's going to the locker room here at the tail end of this first period.
Risman, the Battalion prospect, of course. Going to the locker room, it looks like it's Dan Duracolo, the backup goaltender, opening up the door where the Voodoos come on and off the ice. As Risman now still being helped back by Patrick. And of course on that play, Risman just had a great chance where he pinched up, had a lot of momentum, got a good shot away on Purdue, and then tripped and fell right into the end boards. If he would have been able to maybe stay on his feet, he could have stopped his momentum somewhat, but because he tripped, if anything, it sped him up.
And unfortunately, he's not a guy who pinches a lot. He's only got a goal on the season, so he's not usually taking a lot of those chances. And unfortunately, one of the few times he does, that kind of happens. But if you're Risman, you don't want to get kind of too scared of making those plays, as it's kind of a freak play.
Leontino behind the net. Gives it to Fullerton. Now it's up for Smetham. As we're back underway here to Shields. Shields tried to get a shot away. He fanned on it, and then he was knocked off the puck. Now it's Strinchluck behind or below the goal line. We're in the last minute to Shields. Shields with a shot, and that one's turned aside there by Purdue.
Well, one thing that you always see in this is kind of this series. This is the 11th game between these two, as we talked about the Voodoo being 9-1 against the Rapids this season. And it's kind of interesting when you look at the scores, because there's a lot of really close games. You look at 3-1, 4-2, 5-2, 5-1. Then it was like 5-1, 9-2, 6-2. But there's a lot of like 4-2, 4-1, 3-1 games. So even though French River is losing some of these games, they're keeping it close. I think they struggle to score goals, and I think I think they're a much better team than I think the record dictates.
O'Brien with a quick shot, turned aside by Purdue. I would have to agree with your assessment there, Ben. With 40 seconds left here, Voodoo's getting another golden opportunity here. Purdue really making all the stops here, and even the goal he allowed. He made the save, but it bounced up and over him. As now the puck out to the neutral zone, and that's Wilkie who's going to have to throw it back into the zone. As the Voodoos were offside, had to stop up. Now Boucher throws the puck in. 15 seconds here in this period. Lemke tries to throw the puck back up, losing it in the near or far side corner, and Little picks it up. Little throws it up for Sturge. Sturge gets the puck down the ice, and now it's going to kill the rest of this period here, as the Voodoos are going to take a 1-0 lead into the first intermission here, also leading in shots 15-9 as we go into this intermission. And Ben, how are we feeling after 20 minutes of play?
I think both teams have to be happy. If you're the Voodoos, you controlled a lot of the pace of the game. You didn't really give the Rapids a lot of opportunities to score. They had a couple of great opportunities in transition and some offensive chances to score. They obviously ended up getting one from Ryan Patrick. But if you're the Rapids, I think you also played a pretty solid game. You just weren't able to finish, but you still had some opportunities, and we talked about how these games are so tight between these two. So it's going to be interesting how the next 20 minutes shake out. I think that's going to be the biggest 20 minutes of this hockey game.
Second periods are always momentum killers or momentum gainers, as we saw yesterday, in which the Erie Otters scored 3 unanswered in just over 3.5 minutes played in the second period against the Battalion. But we'll have to see if anything like that's in store here between the Voodoos and the French River Rapids. Voodoos again up 1-0 here as we head into our intermission. He's Ben Sargent, I'm Courtney Kenny, also Mike Brown, our cameraman. And as always, keep your eye on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex here as we get ready for period 2 between the Powassan Voodoos and French River Rapids. Good evening. I am your host, Courtney Kenny. Pleased to be joined by Ben Surgeon, as I almost said afternoon again because I can't tell the time. And it's becoming a running joke, and I really hate it. It's just like drummers can't count to 4.
Oh, I was going to say they should be able to keep time, but apparently not.
No, well, we can't do that either as we get ready here for period 2. Powassan up 1-0. Ben, how are we feeling heading into the middle frame?
Again, I think both teams have to be very happy. Obviously, Ryan Patrick grabbing yet another goal. That will be his 13th of the season. Now 28 points and 40. This is 44th game. So I think you got to be happy. And French River kept the scoring down to 1 and had some opportunities. So if you're French River, it's all about tying this game up going into the third period. And if you're the Voodoos, I think it's about getting a couple more on the board and kind of putting this game out of reach.
The Voodoos in their home whites are going left to right this period. The Rapids in their road navy blues are going right to left as it's steamed offside by Charlie Giesler. And so Powassan will have to tag up here, letting French River get their first real touch of the puck as Etche gets it up to the Voodoos blue line, but no further, and Powassan sends the puck in. Strentzeluk chasing after it with Etche, chipping the puck up the ice before he picks it up and carries it to the red line and throwing it in cross ice. Sturge gives it away. Good chance there for French River from a sharp angle. But Flageau stops that one, and we'll get a stoppage here 53 seconds into the second period.
Yes, Aiden Baker with a nice shot. A bad giveaway by the Voodoos almost leads to a very good scoring opportunity. Unfortunately for French River, though, it's from a bad angle. And obviously, look at what Flageau's done in this game. 10 saves so far. He's looked very solid. And again, anytime that he's given up kind of a sketchy rebound, it's always nobody there for French River to kind of bury it home.
Flageau, of course, was perfect against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners last weekend in an 8-0 victory. As now, Sturge chases after it. And French River picks up the puck in their own zone. Cross ice, Boucher. Looks to go up ice. Can't quite get it, however. As now it's cross ice and the Rapids try to get the puck into the Voodoo zone, but the puck is knocked up and out of play. So we'll get another stoppage here.
Well, he talks about the Voodoos being a point behind the Hearst Lumberjacks, as Hearst also playing tonight, playing Kirkland Lake, and Kirkland Lake's up 2-1. 15 minutes to go still in the second period. So if that one holds, that would be a huge upset. And all of a sudden, if the Voodoos can come out with a victory here, they'd be a point above Hearst. And so important when you consider that first round matchup is most likely going to be Hearst versus Powassan. And you got to think that home ice advantage, especially the way the Voodoos play at home ice, is going to be so important for that series.
For sure, especially considering the ice here at the Sportsplex is a little bit smaller than most. They'll be playing in Sudbury on Family Day Monday as McMillan carries the puck in and quick sharp angle shot. The Voodoos get a second chance, turned aside by Purdue. But they play on Olympic-sized ice in Sudbury, so much bigger than this ice surface. It's cross ice, chance there by Ricci. And it's going to be Picard who gets the puck up ice and negates that chance there. Fullerton throws the puck up ice. Service gets a hand on it. And so there will be no icing there. Russell in his zone throws the puck cross ice up to Bure. Bure tried to gain the zone but lost the puck to Wilkie. Wilkie looks to go up ice, throws it up for Smetham. Smetham stops up, tries to throw the puck to his trailer Strentzeluk, but couldn't find him. Now front, Smetham can't get the shot away. Strentzeluk into Smetham. What a save there by Purdue. And my goodness, Matthew Purdue on the doorstep was Reese Smetham looking for his 21st of the season, and Purdue turns that one aside.
Talking about Purdue, again, looking very strong in this game, 17 saves on 18 shots, and the Voodoos have had much better scoring opportunities than the Rapids have had. They've been able to command that offensive zone very well, had some second chance opportunities, and right now, like goaltending, I think is the one thing that's keeping the Rapids kind of in this game on the scoreboard.
Wilkie at the point, flips it back in for Kelly to Shields out front. Couldn't get that pass to go though, as now it's another chance there by Kelly. Kelly took the shot and it was blocked. And then a hit there by Powassan knocks the puck loose, and they'll throw the puck back into the Rapids zone. 3 minutes gone here in the second period. 1-0 Powassan leads. Up to 18 shots, so for the Voodoos 10. Make that 11 for French River as Flegeau covers up.
And those are the kind of shots that the Rapids are getting so far. Just shots from, obviously there's a lot of ringette that's played in this field, so there's a kind of a red line for the ringette shooters, and right at the top of that circle. And that's kind of where a lot of these shots for the Rapids are coming from. It's just coming from the point. And Flegeau's is having an easy time because you're just seeing those, no traffic in front, no anything. And pretty much at this level, any goaltender is going to make most of those stops.
Well, you talk about ringette here at this rink. Well, in Noelville, it doubles as a curling rink. So the houses are right across. There's 4 of them across where the face-off dots would be in the offensive zone in French River. Makes it, I can't imagine how tough it would be to track the puck if someone was to shoot off a curling house if you're a goaltender. Sturge, I will always say though, actually I'll say that on the next break as the Voodoos have possession here. Service. Flips it back in for Lemke. Lemke in the corner. Powers his way around the net, throws it out front, was looking for McMillan, and now Lemke picks off the puck before he loses it. And now DeBuck into the Voodoos zone before he gets picked off by Sturge, and the puck goes up ice. Lemke or McMillan couldn't make anything happen with that right away though. That's going to go for icing, or rather offside, sorry.
We're gonna have to keep an eye out on for Tyson Resman, who of course went off for with kind of an injury at the was about a minute to go or so. He's number 17. Haven't seen him on the bench so far, so no. I don't know if he's still in the dressing room there, but something we're gonna have to keep out an eye as he went hard into the end boards and had to be helped off the ice.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one for sure. But what I was gonna say about the arena in Noelville, some of the best food you'll ever get in an arena is the canteen makes its own homemade burgers and hot dogs and all that fun stuff. So you get a burger in French River before the game, you're golden. You don't need to eat for a few more hours afterwards. Up to Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk takes the shot. Saved by Purdue. Rebound. Reese Smetham buries that one. It's now a 2-0 lead here for the Voodoos.
Well, Smetham now with his second point of the game as he got an assist on the opening goal for the Voodoos, and this is just an instance where it's just crashing to the net. There were 2 Voodoo players right there, and Smetham is the one picking up the rebound off the initial shot, and that's just something where the French River is not able to pick anybody up with him, and not much you can do as a goaltender there. As a shot right to the pads, you're automatically going to give up a rebound, and then again, crashing the net. We talked about the Rapids not able to do that. That's how you generate goals, is you don't necessarily have to have a clean shot by the goaltender. Getting these kind of, again, those lunch pail goals where you're crashing the net, you're picking up the rebounds, those count the exact same. Mason with a sharp angle shot. Flegeau might have just got a piece of that one, and now the puck's back out to the neutral zone. Reese Smetham, as there's a hit for Connor O'Brien. Reese Smetham picking up his 21st goal of the season. So he may have picked up a loss in his Cy Young voting, but he got a win there on that one. As now Kelly tries to make his way through, can't. As now they're giving the goal to Strenchaluk. Very interesting. I wonder if that's going to get back. Because Strenchaluk had the initial shot.
Yeah, Strenchaluk with the initial shot. Oh, there they go. They changed it to Smetham now, mid-announcing. We'll have to give Mike Brito, the PA announcer,
he's fired.
We'll have to give him some. Oh, believe me, he's not the worst PA guy I've ever heard. We'll have to give him some a stern talking to after the game on that one. Service, as this Vassos with it, trying to find Service. And now Mason with it, or rather Matthew Hill. Hill, back to the point. Naki carries it in. Takes a shot, Flegeau turns that one aside. Rebound chance. Flegeau was swimming in his crease, and French River couldn't bury that one. Good stick there by Sturge, knocks the puck away and back out to the neutral zone. So French River will have to regroup. And now it's Alex Little with the puck in his own zone.
Interesting note, Purdue is out of his net a little bit on the previous shot, and Jack Kelly ran right into him outside of his crease. So we'll see if maybe he's rattled a little bit after that.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that as well, just like we're keeping an eye on Tyson Risman. As now coming out front is McMillan. McMillan scores! And there it is. Now it's a 3-0 game for the Powassan Voodoos as Matthew McMillan picks up his 10th of the season, walks out from the corner, and buries it backhand.
Well, we saw the Voodoos it was a very even first period, and now we're seeing what the Voodoos do so well, which is they can really create distance between the two teams, and this is what they're doing now. 2 goals in the span of just a few minutes, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0 game, and we talk about the Rapids not able to kind of have that finishing scoring touch, and even though it's a 3-0 game, it's starting to get kind of out of control a little bit for the Rapids, as it's going to be very tough for them to try to find 3 past Flageau, and we still have about 33 minutes left in this hockey game.
Well, we saw it last night with the Erie Otters against the Battalion. 3 quick goals. It feels like the Voodoos have picked up 2 quick goals here in this second period. Lemke in his own zone. Quickly up ice for Ricci. Back to Smetham. Smetham gets around one defender and then takes a hard hit in the corner before he whacks at it and can't get the puck off the stick of the Rapids. Fullerton knocks it up ice to Strenchluck. It hits the linesman though, so it couldn't go very far. Now Smetham tries to get around the Rapids defender and couldn't, as that was Bouchard. Bouchard with some speed takes a shot off the leg of Fullerton, and now Strenchluck with the puck in his own zone. Strenchluck carries the puck back into his zone, loses it to Hill, but Hill can't hold on to the puck for very long, as now it's knocked back out to the neutral zone with Kelly chasing after. Boucher takes a shot. Flageau knocks that one aside. Rebound in a dangerous area, but French River can't convert on that one, as now it's on the near side wall. Back to Picard. Picard flips the puck in cross ice. Patrick picks that one up, and then a stretch pass up the ice to O'Brien. Couldn't find Pater. Naki in, and then going cross ice with Picard. His pass hitting the boards and bouncing out back to the neutral zone, as now O'Brien knocks it down with a glove. O'Brien couldn't hold on to it as the puck wouldn't settle down for him, and now Hill goes the other way. Hill with a shot. Flageau with the cool as a cucumber type of glove save stops that one up.
Well, Carson Reese kind of went off for a bad change, as he should have picked up the French River player coming down, but we were talking about the Blind River versus French River showcase game, and you talked about how they kind of struggled as the game went on, and you kind of see the same sense here with French River, as they started off so well in the first 20 minutes, and now in the last 8 minutes, they feel like they're really getting outplayed by the Voodoos, and that kind of skill level between the two teams is becoming much more apparent. So, you know, even we talk about playing 30 minutes of hockey, it's tough. Like, it's a very demanding game to play.
21-14 now, the shots in favor of Powassan. Service up through his own zone, gets it to Vassos. Vassos takes a hard hit while he dumps the puck in. Purdue stopped it up slightly, and then Bure ran into a wall. That was Alex Little on the far side half wall. Digging for the puck. French River comes away with it. And now given away out front, McMillan with his second of the game. Right from the slot, a bad giveaway by the Rapids. And it's now a 4-0 game here in Powassan, very much in flight.
Well, about 5 minutes and 3 goals as McMillan steals that puck at an ill-advised pass right in the top slot, shoots it right over the blocker side, and
it's the 11th goal of the year for McMillan.
No, I said the 3rd goal in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's the 11th goal.
Oh, no, I didn't say how many goals he had.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just telling people it's the 11th goal of the season.
My apologies. I thought I said something wrong, and I was like, I did not say anything wrong. But the thing with McMillan that's interesting is that he's been all over the puck. It's surprising that he only has that many goals this year.
He's had a few good games here recently for the Voodoos for sure, and he's well on his way to another one here. Campanella with some good moves on his skates. Gets the puck into his own zone, but now he can't handle it at the neutral zone as he flips the puck into the Voodoo zone. Shields going after it. And I'm telling you right now, Tucker Shields still with no goals on the game.
I'm telling you.
Complaints going to Ben Sargent.
Campanella has how many? 11?
Yeah. Strenchuluk over for Liatino. Liatino. Cross ice for Strenchuluk. Strenchuluk gains the zone, looks to throw the puck in front of the net for Smetham. Couldn't find it. Lemke keeps the puck in, chases after it. And now battles with Strenchuluk as Strenchuluk's behind the net. Strenchuluk trying to get some separation. Twisting and turning in the corner. As is now on the near side half wall, gives it to Kelly. Kelly, who had 2 goals on last game for the Voodoos against Kirkland Lake. on Saturday. Just leaves it for Ricci. Ricci to Fullerton. Fullerton gains the red line and throws it in. Now Lemke takes a hit, knocks his man down. And back to the point. Ricci throws the puck in on net. Purdue stops that one. Back to Lemke. Kelly now, as we've officially reached the halfway point here in the second, as we're just over 10 minutes now, 10:05 to be exact. As Fullerton swipes at the puck, loses it, and blowing a tire on that one was Campanella. Campanella sitting down in the corner, gives it to Etche. Etche knocked off the puck momentarily, as Campanella has it now, and is sent back down into the Rapids zone before they send it right back for Campanella to Naki. Naki skates in, uncontested, takes the shot, and that's a goal there for the Rapids, as somehow they beat Cannon Flageau with a good move there by Naki.
Yeah, it looked like Flageau didn't even know where the puck was, as he was kind of on his stomach, and the only reason we really saw the puck go in was because the referee said it did, and yeah, it was one of those things where the puck kind of got lost, and I don't think Flageau realized it got by him at all, as he kind of stood up after and was a little confused, but either way, French River finally able to crack the shutout streak from Flageau halfway through this game, but still with 3 goals down, it's going to be a long hill to climb for the Rapids.
So that's the 9th goal of the season for Naki. And for Flageau, he went 3.5 periods straight, at least between the last 2 games, without allowing a goal, as he picked up a shutout. Didn't want to say the word before, against the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners last weekend. French River with the puck in their own zone, or in the Voodoo zone. Skating behind the net. Can't find anybody, as now it's Wolf with it. Sent up down the ice. Wolf will chase after it, and he picks it up. 8.5 minutes here remain in this period, as we'll get an icing call there, as that was the Voodoos who would be the beneficiary there and get an offensive zone draw now.
We talked about that goal breaking a 71-minute shutout streak here for Flageau, as of course, as you said, he got that shutout against Kirkland Lake. So he's going to have to start another one here, but if you look at it, starting to get a couple more shots too. Now all of a sudden the shot, only 7 shots between these two teams. There was a little bit of a bigger discrepancy earlier on in this period.
91 minutes.
91 minutes, sorry, my bad.
You missed a period there. Leontino into the Voodoo zone. As he takes a backhand shot, stopped up by Purdue. Don't ever try to come to us for math. We are terrible at it. It was our worst subject in school for sure. And that's why we went into broadcasting, folks. As we're at our mid-period break here, the Powassan Voodooos currently lead 4-1 on the Frontline Game Day broadcast, and we'll be back on the other side of this.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Well, Ben, Canada Flageau has looked every bit the part in net for the Voodoos, although that goal that went in, kind of a bit of a strange one there.
Yeah, he was on his stomach. I didn't think he even saw the puck at all, as he was kind of surprised that I think he thought he had it covered, as the referee ended up putting it into the, putting his arm in towards the net. But if you look at it right now, the shot's 24-16. The Voodoo's a much, much better period than what we saw in the first period, as it kind of feels like the Rapids have digressed a little bit here in the last little bit. On the other side, however, it looks like the Voodoos have been stronger in the last 12 minutes, give or take. And now when you look at it, of course, we talked about 3 goals already. McMillan, a pair of goals in this period. Smetham with a goal as well. And 4-1 game. It's going to be a very hard game for the Rapids to try to come back, I think, in the next 28 minutes.
Well, if Flageau plays the way that we've seen him play, where he can shut down teams, well, you have to think that the Voodoos have a pretty good chance here, with Kelly throwing the puck in off the draw just wide of the net. Puck flings up in the air, now bouncing around and nearly given away there to O'Brien. Lemke with it. Skates it in tight, as now we see a goaltending change as well in net, with Ben Gustafson in net for the Rapids as well.
Yeah, I thought his pads looked a little bit different. I was kind of confused. I'm like, that does not look the same.
They went from white to black, although the blocker and trap are still white.
Yeah, and I thought Purdue did look a little shaky on the last couple of goals by McMillan as they were kind of cleanly beat. But it's going to be interesting to see if that's going to give maybe French River a little bit of momentum.
We'll give you Gustafson's numbers momentarily as a shot just goes wide of the Voodoos net. Naki with the puck, tries to get it in, takes the shot. Flageau kicks that one into the corner, and Service chasing after the puck. Can't quite get to it though right away, as now O'Brien is going to have a chance to clear the puck, and he does down the ice. This one won't have the legs for icing though. It's Liatino battling for the puck in the near side corner here. McMillan looking for the hat trick. Back to the point. It's thrown on net by Fullerton. Fullerton's shot is blocked to Service. Chance there. And Service can't get his shot on net. Service once again skating around. Gets it to Ricci. Ricci shot wide of the net. Fullerton tries to keep it in. As he just does, or he doesn't, but he throws the puck back in quickly. And Gustafson was out to play it, but can as Boucher comes out and picks up the puck.
The thing with Gustafson, 14 losses, no wins so far this season, as obviously French River, their wins have come out at premium, and be interesting if they come back here. It could be number one for them.
Could be for sure. Flageau out to play the puck. Gustafson also with a 480 goals against average and 887 save percentage as the puck's in and it goes for icing. So Gustafson coming into this game had the same save percentage as Matthew Purdue. You have to think Purdue's save percentage is a little bit lower now.
Yeah, and their third goalie, Brady Dyer, who's been in 26 games, 4 wins, 14 losses, has an 888 save percentage. So
yeah, they're all around the same.
Slightly higher, but yeah, it's gonna be big for Gustafson, who's still yet to face a shot. It's gonna be all about him trying to shut the door here, and we'll see if he can do that.
Service gains the zone, tries a move. Good stick there by Etche. Knocks that one aside. And now Mason on the counterattack. Loses it though. Vassos flips the puck up into the neutral zone. And now French River gains the zone, but not for very long, as Sturge looks up the ice quickly. That's Smetham in. Takes the shot. Gustafson might have just got a piece of that one as he hit the glass behind the net. Smetham battling for the puck, trying to get it to Vassos. Vassos in there as well, and Smetham comes away with it. Over to Etche. Smetham comes in with it, goes cross ice, looking for Strenchaluk. He would have had Gustafson at his mercy, but he couldn't get the shot away. In now for Flageau. Flageau knocks the puck away, and Bure tries to send the puck in deep for the Rapids as now it's below the goal line. Little battling with his man too. Smetham comes in, and now it's out front and knocked out to the neutral zone for Boucher to come and play it. Down for Wilkie. Wilkie, his chance knocked away by French River, and now French River begins possession in the Voodoo zone. Naki takes a shot, gloved down by Flageau as Little tries to get a stretch pass up for the Voodoos, and now we'll get a penalty here as Campanella would have been home free after he took down Wilkie. So it's going to be Campanella going to the box here, and Powassan's going to have, as Wilkie looks a little bit shaken up and worse for wear, but the Voodoos are going to head to their first power play here.
Well, it looks like it's going to be hit to the head as the call, and this is almost like the equivalent of in football when you have somebody who does a really long run or pass, and then you have an linesman who gets caught for holding. That's what this kind of feels like. As you said, it was going to be a home free opportunity for the Rapids. It was going to be an odd man rush, at least a 2-on-0, 2-on-1. And unfortunately for them, that is ousted as he's not going to be taken out of the game.
At least the period. I think it comes with the misconduct, right? The hit to the head.
Yeah, when with just under 5 minutes going.
So Wolf is going to play, or is going to go to the box here to serve the 2 minutes.
And Wolf slamming the door. He's not happy at all. Very close to maybe getting us unsportsmanlike.
Liatino sends the puck in. It's off a body. And now it's Patrick to Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk back to the point for Liatino. Liatino to Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk in deep. Looking out front for the shot was Patrick, but they couldn't get that one to go. Now it's Fullerton up to Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk to Service. Service gains the zone. Patrick couldn't get to it first though, as now the puck is knocked down the ice for the Voodoos to go after. Liatino. Now it's going to be Powassan battling for the puck in their own zone as they went for a change here. Strentulek hit hard into the boards. And Liatino's going to pick up the loose puck on this side, or on the broadcast side of the ice. Chip it in, go after it. Still just over a minute left on the power play. Would love to tell you more, but as we've heard, there's been a big stanchion issue all year long. As now into the Voodoo zone is French River, who's looked like they've played most of this. As a good shot there by Picard. Played most of this power play in the Voodoo zone, it feels like.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job as they've put a lot of offensive pressure, and Flageau making one of those rare short-handed stops. Now it's going to be a defensive zone face-off for the Voodoos. And again, you got to give a lot of credit to French River here on this penalty kill, as it feels like it's kind of a weird spot for the Voodoos, as they don't really need to score here, but at the same time, you don't want to play this game too passively, and the next thing you know, you allow the Rapids to get back into it.
Wilkie back out there, good to see. As they get the puck up to Lemke. Lemke gives it away. Now a 2-on-1 here. Picard to Russell. Russell in alone in the toe. Saved there by Flageau. My goodness, what a save by the goaltender for the Voodoos. O'Brien knocked hard. That'll be a penalty coming up for French River as Wilkie tried to center it. As now the Voodoos are going to find themselves on a 5-on-3 with a boarding call here against French River.
It looks like about 22 seconds left on the clock. It's hard to tell here because the Zamboni door is in the way, but yeah, as you said, 5-on-3 opportunity, as it's going to be a cross-checking as Etienne is going off. But either way, I think with Flageau getting a little lucky on that Russell play, as Russell's not able to lift the puck, as Flageau does everything he can to take away the bottom of the net. And luckily for him, Russell's not able to lift that puck, but what a save, as he gets almost a short-handed opportunity by the Rapids, and Voodoos are going to have to lock it down here, as now they have a 5-on-3.
Liatino gives it over to Strentulek. Back to Liatino. Liatino with the shot, stopped by Gustafson. Now Patrick in the near side or far side corner, gives it to Liatino. Back to Strentulek. Strentulek back to Liatino. Liatino playing pitch and catch with him. As we're going to see a 5-on-4 now with French River getting ready to send a player back over the boards. Service. Strentulek. Strentulek with the shot. Gustafson with the save. Secondary chance there by Liatino, just missed the net. Strentulek now. Over to Liatino. Liatino gives it back to Patrick, who gets it back to Strentulek. Strentulek walks the line. Sends it in for Service. Service out front, can't get it to go. Liatino throws the puck back on net, and now another chance by the Voodoos. They just sent out of play. And the power play still has over a minute left. 2:22 left in the second period.
Yeah, no, obviously as we looked at it, it's been a great first half of the second period for the Voodoos, as they scored 3 kind of right away. And then this last 2 or 3 minutes, the Rapids have really come back, and the Voodoos are a little bit lucky here that it's a 4-1 game and not at least a 4-2 game, as they've played very sloppy, a lot of turnovers in their own zone, and they still are going to almost go to the end of this period on a power play, and they'd love to almost ice the game a little bit here in the end of the second period and go into this third period with a 5-1 lead.
Shields back to the point for Little. Little out front for Shields. Shields with the goal! Tucker Shields picks up his 23rd of the season on the power play for Powassan. Chris Dawson, knowing full well what's going on with you, is signaling no goal. So the curse of Ben Sargent is over.
Well, finally Tucker Shields does something. Like, how many times have you said his name? Not a lot this night. It's been a lot of, for some reason, it's always the guys who don't score a lot. It's for some reason, but Tucker Shields, finally we see that great shot, and as you said, his 23rd goal. That's the leading on this battalion team, right behind right ahead, of Smetham, who came into this game with 20. That's a huge goal, though, as we talked about the Rapids getting some momentum back, some bad turnovers by the Voodoos, and a power play goal by Shields. And all of a sudden, that lead is looking almost insurmountable.
Vassos takes a shot. It's knocked aside by a Rapids player, Campanella. Under 2 minutes here remain in the second period as the Voodoos pick up a goal from number 11, Tucker Shields. Shot on net, kicked aside by Flageau. And now we're going to see a penalty going to Powassan here. As a quick scoreboard update on that game in Hearst.
It's now 2-2 as they've tied it up. And just at the end of the second period, about 20 seconds ago, it's Tyler Pattinson at the 8:24 mark tied things up for the Hearst Lumberjacks. So,
well, on the one hand, if you got to think that the Hearst Lumberjacks are the favorites to win that game. So, at the very least, if the Voodoos close this one out, they keep pace with the Lumberjacks. And now they will go to the penalty for 2 minutes or less as Ricci's in the box, and that'll basically take us to the end of the period if the Rapids don't score here.
Yeah, tough thing for Kirkland Lake. They're on a 7-game losing streak. They're 1-9 in their last 10. Not as bad as Cochrane, who's on a 16-game losing streak.
Yeah, not very good.
But the Voodoos would love to see Kirkland Lake break that tonight against the Hearst Lumberjacks. And still 2-2 game with a period to go, so anything can happen. Up
the ice for Boucher. Boucher goes cross ice there for Russell. Russell back to the point. Naki back in for Russell. Russell sends it in deep for Campanella. Campanella for Boucher. His pass misses number 28. And they're going to have to reset as it's all the way back down to their own zone. Under a minute 30 left on the power play. A minute 10 left in the period. 5-1 Powassan leads. Naki through the neutral zone. The lone goal scorer here for French River gives the puck away. And now it's knocked out but kept in as Shields almost had a chance there shorthanded to get the puck up and out, as now we're going to have a stoppage here, as I believe for offside.
Yeah, he had his name up. Nachi over there did not get back onside as he didn't realize that they went offside. They're not able to hold the zone, and yeah, it's going to be very interesting for French River as we go into this third period, already down by 4. And if they're going to want to get back into this game, they either need a super late goal here at the end of the second, or they're going to have to get something going on the power play at the very beginning of the third.
Bouchard cross ice for Bax, and now it's back to the point and not kept in by Bouchard. Bouchard in for Hill. Hill played hard by Strinchuluk, and he can't get it away from him as now Fullerton knocks the puck away from the Rapids, and Shields sends it down the ice, as it looked like they were going to call high stick, then thought about it, then decided to call it anyways. So 27.8 seconds remain in the second period with French River still on the power play, but they're going to have a defensive zone draw here.
Yeah, and you have to think the Voodoos doing a good job staying out of the penalty box. Only twice have they been in the penalty box. They've been in a lot in the first period. They were in 3 times in the first period, but have only one of those was a power play, and they only sent one guy to the penalty box here in the second period, so they haven't given the Rapids a lot of chances from a special teams perspective to try to get back in the scoring.
Service with a good pass back to Liatino. Liatino takes the puck back down to his zone before he throws it up ice. And then Service picks the puck back up, and this will kill the remaining few seconds as he sends it up to Smetham. Smetham tries to knock it in, and Campanella starts with a last-second shot well over Flageau's net. And so the Voodoos are going to go to the break after 40 minutes of play, up 5-1. They will have a 16-second penalty to kill off in the third period. But the Voodoos looking every bit the team that's already clinched the playoff spot here.
Yeah, and it was that first 5 minutes or so in that period where they ended up scoring 3 goals right away, taking a 4-1 lead. Then French River started coming back into the game a little bit, short-handed, as they had a couple of great opportunities. But at the end of the day, it was still the Voodoos who kind of dominated that period, and obviously Tucker Shields getting kind of like the cap on that with a 5-1 lead. And I think it's going to be a very tough 20 minutes for the French River Rapids if they want to try to get back in this game. So the Voodoos are just about playing a solid 20 minutes, and they'll come away with another victory.
Should be a good one here as we have the third period coming up here on the Frontline Game Day broadcast. He's Ben Sargent, I'm Courtney Kenny, and of course Mike Brown, the cameraman, who is always bringing wonderful views of the ice here in Powassan. But with that being said, we'll take you to our intermission now, and we'll be back on the other side of this. As always, keep your eye on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex for what promises to be, but may not be, the final frame of tonight's game between the Powassan Vodoos and the French River Rapids. Powassan currently up 5-1 after 40 minutes of play. They do have a 16-second penalty to kill off here at the start of this period, though. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent and, of course, cameraman Mike Brown. And Ben, what are we feeling after 40 minutes of play?
Well, you got to be happy with the Voodoos for the most part in this hockey game as they're up 5-1. And the most important category, as they've had their moments where they've dominated, they've given a couple of bad opportunities to the Rapids, but for the most part, Voodoos looked very strong in net, 20 saves, 21 shots, and the Voodoos have taken advantage of some weaker goaltending from the Rapids. And big news coming out is Tyson Risman not coming back in this hockey game, as he has unfortunately suffered. We don't know what the injury is yet, but hopefully he will be okay, but he will not be back.
He has been taken to the hospital, to be more specific. So our thoughts are with Tyson Risman at this time as we get set for the third period here. And Powassan dumps the puck down to French River's zone. French River in their road navy blue jerseys are going left to right, and the Voodoos in their home whites are going right to left. Wilkie sends the puck in cross ice. Smetham in to play it as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Shields, the most recent goal scorer, sends the puck out for Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk gets it over to Wilkie, who gets it quickly back to Little. And now Gustafson throws the puck behind him to Boucher. Boucher goes cross ice to Ganaki. Ganaki up, looking up ice. Loses his neck guard in the process. And the puck now down to the Voodoo zone. Now, up for O'Brien, can't get it out of his zone. Lemke with it. Up to O'Brien, and O'Brien shovels the puck down the ice for Campanella to chase after. Campanella picking it up just in the blue paint area by his netminder. And now he's knocked down, and now the Voodoos in transition with Lemke go cross ice for Kelly. And that was a good stick there by Etche to keep the Voodoos from getting another golden opportunity here. And a chance to go up 6-1. Ricci to Lemke. Lemke back to Ricci. Ricci can't hold on to it as Bouchard and Kelly battle for it. And now it's back to Bouchard to Ricci. Ricci in, takes the shot. Gustafson with the save. And we'll get our first stoppage here, just over a minute and a half played in this third period as I go through all the numbers.
He'll get there eventually. Again, if you're the Voodoos, the only thing that matters in this is killing off the next 18 minutes and 20 seconds, and you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to put the puck in the net at all. It's just about controlling the pace of the game and kind of keeping the opportunities for French River down to a minimum. Of course, we're going to try to keep you updated on the Kirkland Lake Hearst game, as it's still 2-2 as this third period just starting there. They're about the same time as we're into this game, about 2 minutes in, so we'll try to keep you updated to see if Kirkland Lake can come up with a nice little upset.
Voodoos a game in hand on Hearst and 1 point behind the Lumberjacks. The Lumberjacks playing some good hockey, but the Voodoos have been able to catch them. At 1 point, Hearst had almost a 10-point lead on Powassan. Picard throws the puck down the ice. That's going to go for icing, as Patrick will be the first one back for that one. And we'll get another stoppage here and another offensive zone draw for Powassan.
And one of the big things is going to be their next game. When you look at the Voodoos, they'll be playing tomorrow night here in the sports complex. We'll have that game for you as well, as the Timmins Rock come in, and the Rock are on an 11-game winning streak. So if you look at all the good that the Voodoos have done on their 9-game winning streak, they've not been able to gain any momentum onto Timmins. So that's going to be a really big game, considering that they've got quite a big lead at the top there with 79 points. So after this game, assuming the Voodoos come away with a victory, are going to be about 12 points still behind the Rock.
Yeah, it's not looking like the Voodoos will be able to catch Timmins for first in the division at all this year, but they haven't played much of Timmins. They've played a lot of French River, Sudbury, Espanola. Timmins has played a lot of Cochrane, Kirkland Lake, as they've been trying to keep, the NOJHL's been trying to keep the games to the corridors this year, which has led to why we've seen Sudbury so many times, why we've seen Espanola, who are in different divisions, why we've seen French River, who is in the same division at least as the Voodoos. But Timmins playing a lot of their games against the Hearst Lumberjacks, the Cochrane Crunch, Kirkland Lake, two of the bottom teams in this league, as we get the puck out of play here.
Yeah,
So
when you look at the standings, that probably helps you a lot considering how those teams have fared. I mean, I think it's a different. Not taking anything away from Timmins, but the fact they have only 6 losses, 3 overtime and 2 shootout losses. So, call that 11 losses total on the season. I mean, if they're playing Hearst and Powassan a lot, maybe that number is different. So even going to the playoffs, I don't think you can 100% look at Timmins. Not saying they're a bad team. They're a fantastic team, but I think that's a little misleading.
Shields with a chance. His puck is knocked up and well over the net and out of play as it hits the back wall here at the Sportsplex, which could probably go for another paint job, but considering the amount of pucks that are up there, might be counterproductive.
Yeah, and this is a very, very low glass here. It's a little bit higher behind the net, but when you look at the sides, there are a lot of pucks go to play because the glass is very short.
Well, you have to think about it, though, that really the ice is down like another half a foot.
Yeah.
So on the ice level, it doesn't look like it. But from this side, because it's built up, definitely looks that way for sure. As Boucher keeps the puck in and Fleugeot gloves that one down with a little bit of words after the whistle. 5-1 Powassan leads. But yeah, so tomorrow night's game will be interesting. We haven't seen much of the Timmins Rock here in town, but it'll be a big game. Then Matt Sukram and Andrew White will have the call for you on that one on the Frontline Game Day broadcast, of course, right here on YouTube and Hockey TV, right from the Sportsplex, less than 24 hours from now. McMillan looking for the hat trick with some speed through the neutral zone, stops up, gives it to Service. Service looking out front as a sent in on Gustafson, but turned aside. And we've seen Powassan as well, been able to hang with the big boys in this league, beating Sudbury 8-1 the last time they played. There's no Service, throws the puck out front, and that was on January 20th. McMillan with a bit of a floating shot, turned aside by Gustafson. Back to Ricci. Ricci with the shot. That one's tipped on net and just wide. McMillan behind the net. Back over to Ricci. Cross ice for Fullerton. Fullerton sends it in, tipped in, but just wide. McMillan with the puck now. And now McMillan throws the puck back to the point where Ricci had just vacated that spot, and Fleugeot comes out to play it. The Voodoos will be visiting Sudbury on Family Day Monday as well at the Jerry McCrory Sports Complex in the Nickel City. And now out front of the net. And the Rapids can't get a shot away. So big weekend regardless for the Voodoos, who look to get off on the right foot here against this Rapids team. Ricci behind his net. 5 minutes gone here. To Etche. Etche flips the puck in off the boards. A stop there by Ricci. And now Ricci sends the puck down the ice. Strenchuluk picks it up right by the Tony R sign, Anthony Rhoda. Etche chasing after it in his own zone. To Campanella. Campanella loses it to Strenchuluk, but Strenchuluk can't pick up the puck cleanly, and Campanella, once again, just flips the puck out of his zone. Little gives it away to Hill. Hill takes the shot over the net of Fleugeot and off the end boards, and now back out to the front, and Campanella is going to give the Rapids another goal here, his 13th of the season. It's now a 5-3 hockey game with a snipe from just inside the point.
Well, there you go, Campanelli making this 5-2 as it's, again, might be a little too late as there's still 14 minutes to go, but Fleugeot not able to handle that one. If we take a quick look, though, at the Rock, only 4 times that they play each other this season. They're 1-1 so far, with the Voodoos taking their previous meeting 4-2 in Timmins on the 30th of October. And if you look at it, they play each other tomorrow, and then the next game is February 26th in Timmins will be the final meeting. So it's going to, I think those next 2 games, that's 4 points that you can gain. And you have to remember Timmins have played 4 more games, I believe it is, so far this season.
Boucher throws it in, knocked aside by Fleugeot, but right there was Russell, but he couldn't get anything to go. Now Kelly on a makeshift 2-on-1, can't get anything to work as French River gets some bodies back. And now it's Vassos in the near side corner, carries it out, looked for Liatino, couldn't find him. And now Russell sends it back in. Boucher with the puck, goes cross ice. Jiganaki Knocking up to Picard. We'll talk about our players to watch as well coming up after the mid-period break. O'Brien loses it, and Sturge flips the puck down the ice, and we'll get an icing call here against the Voodoos. We talked about it earlier that Alex Little has 45 points, looking to catch Dayton Murray with 48. He did pick up an assist tonight, so he's now up to 46, right hot on the heels of Dayton Murray, who picked up the record of 48 points in the 2016-17 season, the year that the Powassan Voodoos were champions in the NOJHL.
Yeah, and I've said it before, Alex Little reminds you a little bit of Ty Nelson as well, with the ability that he is able to be the quarterback kind of there on the ice. He's so good at starting a transition game, at starting kind of the offense of the neutral zone, and of course, he does such a good job at that point for the Powassan Voodoos. He's not afraid to jump in on the rush, and Alex Little has been every bit as good as advertised this season so far. And talk about a defenseman, still has 13 goals on the season as well.
He has been. He's over a point-a-game player, like you mentioned. Him and Tucker Shields really the only players here that are point-a-game players for the Voodoos. Etchier with the shot. Service blocked that. He didn't know that the puck was just sitting there behind him, though. As now out front. Turned aside by Flageau. He didn't see the puck. It came back out. The Buck would have had him at his mercy. And now another chance, just misses the net. Service in the near side wall. Battling with it, sends the puck up and out and down the ice. Will it have the ice legs to go for icing? It does, as Etchier plays it back up. So the Voodoos can't go for a change here. 12:41 left in the third period.
We talk about Hearst, and they're still tied right now with Kirkland Lake as they reach the 12-minute mark of that game. But if you look at the last time these two played, it was the Voodoos who came out to an early 4-0 lead in the first period. And then right near this kind of time in the third period, it was the Lumberjacks who came back, and they almost ended up tying that game. And we're kind of seeing the same thing here with the French River Rapids, where they're putting a lot of pressure here on the Voodoos. So you want to make sure that you play a really solid 12 minutes and not let the Rapids get back into this game at all.
Puck out of play again, so another quick whistle. And yeah, you're right. The Lumberjacks had a really good third period there in that game, and French River so far having a very good third period here in Powassan. Still down 5-2, but they have the lone goal here this period.
Yeah, and again, you say 5-2, but the next thing you know, they score in the next couple minutes. So it's suddenly a 5-3 game, and there's 10 minutes left. And even though obviously Flageau playing very well, coming off a shutout, and then today he's looked very solid as well. All you have to do is get a couple of well-placed shots, and the next thing you know, could be a very tight game.
Etchier picking off the pass for service to Mason. Mason tried to throw it on net, couldn't get it up. Now Ricci's pass picked off again as it hit the stick, and then he takes down Bure as it hit the skate of service. Now Flageau without a stick knocks the puck down with his blocker. Now service having a few words here at the blue line with Mason, but you don't see that very often where Flageau or a goalie tries to catch the puck with his blocker hand without the blocker padding out.
Yeah, and we've seen this, and this is kind of concerning for the Voodoos, but another bad giveaway in their zone trying to clear the puck that's another thing that we've got to keep our eye on. If you're Powassan, you can't be giving up those good opportunities. We saw McMillan earlier in this game score a goal from a bad giveaway in the high slot. You don't want to kind of give those goals back to the Rapids.
Inaki battling with Lemke. Lemke tried to get the puck out, knocked up, just barely missed touching the roof here at the Sportsplex. And now a sharp angle shot's blocked by the Rapids. And another chance coming in. Flageau stops that one down in the butterfly, and they'll get another whistle here. Just over 8 minutes gone, 8:01 to be exact, in this final frame.
And again, it's all Rapids right now in the last 5 minutes or so. And next thing you know, the shots now 28-25. Only 3 shots have been the change. We've seen there be almost a 10-shot difference between these two teams. And right now, the Voodoo's not getting anything going as the Rapids really putting a lot of pressure on them. And you don't want to kind of cower back and almost play like a trap-style game, as what can happen is you give up way too many good opportunities, and it feels like the Voodoo's are just playing a little bit too passively here.
As now Kelly's going to have a chance here down the ice with some speed. Kelly takes the shot, saved by Gustafson. Secondary chance there. What silky mitts by Patrick as he's able to get the rebound and dipsy doodle around Gustafson.
Well, and all of a sudden you look at momentum and it can shift just like that. This, though, I think is a lot on Gustafson. He makes a save. He makes the initial save on Kelly, and he kind of just lets the puck sit out in front of him. And Patrick, the next thing you know, he picks up his second of the game as he just kind of guides around. And it was kind of interesting seeing Gustafson didn't really know what he was doing there, as, again, he lets that puck sit about 2 feet in front of him and doesn't even attempt to try to save it. And he gives Patrick a relatively easy goal as he just allows him to dance around. So,
yeah, you think that he would come out to try and challenge her to jump on the puck, but he just left it, as that's Patrick's second of the game, 14th of the year. And after the goal, had a little salute for Northern Ontario junior scout Dylan Anderson, who comes to every Voodoos home game and sits down in the corner, as I'm sure you can see on Hockey TV whenever the play is down in the Voodoo zone.
Well, Patrick now up to 14 goals on the season, and that will be his now 29th point in 43 games. Again, another guy who's just been quietly doing a lot of the right things offensively for the Voodoos, as they've had a lot of discrepancy between guys like Tucker Shields and Reese Smethams, and now that gap is getting a lot smaller.
Yeah, well, the Voodoos have a couple of 20-goal scorers in Shields and Smethams. Now we get a shot in and a save by Flageau, and then a couple of rough stuff after the whistle, or a few words anyways, and the referees blow the whistles. But they do have a few guys with double digits. I mean, Alex Little, Ryan Patrick, Connor O'Brien, Jack Kelly, Chase Thompson, and of course, you know, guys like Caden Long not too far off. Cameron Lemke, who missed half the season, not too far off double digits. Matthew McMillan now up to double digits as well. As the face-off, won by the Rapids. Going around, blind pass is picked off by Lemke, and the Voodoos chase after it. Bouchard with the puck in his own zone. Looks up ice. Stretch pass for Laurent. Hits the stick of Fullerton and goes out of play.
And again, we talk about that momentum that French River built up in the last 5 minutes of this period. They ended up scoring a goal. It was kind of it almost felt like they were on a power play with the amount of time that they had in the offensive zone. And all it takes is one transitional play, in my opinion, kind of a bad play by Gustafson to leave an easy rebound for Patrick, and all of a sudden a 6-2 game. And now you kind of feel it. It just feels like the Rapids are kind of, a lot of that wind is blown out of their sails, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see kind of a scrappy end of this game, as we've seen some pushing and shoving between these two teams.
Well, these teams, of course, very familiar with each other. As you mentioned, this is the 11th game that they have played against each other this year, which is wild. McMillan on the far side wall to Little. Little cross ice quickly for Service. Service tried to make a move, couldn't get past a good stick there by Boucher, and is kept in by Little. Little with a shot. Knocked aside by Gustafson. Service. Taken hard to the ice. And now McMillan battling for it, and that's going to go for a hand pass for the Voodoos.
Yeah, and again, we look at the Rapids, and you look at this game, and I think, again, we talked about how they struggle to finish goals, and I think that's been kind of an issue for them today, as they've had a lot of opportunities to get kind of back in this game. But I think what's hurt them the most in this game, honestly, has been their goaltending, as both goaltenders, Purdue earlier in the game and Gustafson here, just have not looked sharp. Gustafson giving up two kind of weaker goals. Purdue gave up a couple of weaker goals before he got pulled mid-period, and I think that's just been the one thing that's hurt the Rapids the most out of this game. This easily could be a 2-1 or a 2-2 game at this point.
Boucher in his own zone. Cross ice to Ganaki, down the puck down the ice. And the Rapids would have beaten out the icing, but it still goes anyways, as now Leotino and Bure have some words. Bure wouldn't have had the chance to play with Leotino, as Leotino was acquired around that time of the Bure for Thompson trade by the Voodoos.
Well, the Lumberjacks Gold Miners still tied at 2 with 8 minutes to go. If they end up
what is going on there?
Yeah, I know. If they end up getting to overtime, they'll be tied if Kirkland Lake comes away with an overtime or shootout win. But yeah, Hearst not able to find the back of the net, which is kind of rare for them, as they've been a very good goal-scoring team.
Hey, KL, I know we beat you 8-0 last weekend, but can you do us a favor here tonight? Please? We'll be best friends. Leotino levels a hit on Hill, and now the Voodoo Sturge comes away with it and sends the puck, tries to send it down the ice, and then it hits the linesman before it can finally make its way into the Rapids zone. Inaki with the puck below his goal line, carries the puck up slowly with some pressure by Vassos. Puck picked up there by Strencheluk. Strencheluk, the former star in the Ontario Junior Hockey League, or the OJ as I like to call it. It gives it to Smetham. Now Strenchuluk picks it back up. Tries to shovel the puck back out. Bure picks it up and then leaves it. And now going the other way is Janaki. Janaki sends it in. Comes around the end wall. Ricci flips it up for Smetham. Smetham to Strenchuluk. 9:25 here left in this period. Over to Smetham. Smetham tried to get a shot away, and the puck was swiped off his stick. Hill and Smetham battling for it. Smetham just keeps it in, and now it's up to Shields. Shields flipped it back, and it's Little who picks it up. Little leaves it up for Kelly. Kelly to Little. Little tried to shovel the puck on net. Now it's going to be Kelly. Back around the end wall. Tries to flip the puck in. And it's back to Little. Little sends the puck in deep for Kelly. And now the net's knocked off as French River's player just ran right into the net and knocked us off its mooring. But that will take us to our mid-period break here with 8:48 left in the third period. Powassan leads 6-2 here. Shots on goal 31-27 in favor of the Voodoos. And we'll be back on the other side of this.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
That is right. We will be bringing you our 3 stars of the game post-game. And for our players to watch, Ben, how are we doing here with Tucker Shields and Connor Picard?
Well, Tucker Shields finally getting a point as I'm here as he scored on the power play at the 17:44 mark of the second period. He's got 1 point. On the other side for the French River Rapids, we had Connor Picard who's been kept off the score sheet here. So he's been pretty quiet. He had a couple of moments earlier on in the game, but really since the first period, he hasn't been around the puck too much. So maybe something late here to make us look good.
Well, we'll have to see. Your reputation is on it now with service. Skates out, takes the shot. Gustafson with the save. And now the Rapids in transition. Back into the Voodoo zone. Can't get the shot away. And now Etche with it. Etche tries to flip the puck in, can't. Service now with some speed. Looks out front, gets it, and that's a good chance there by McMillan, who was looking for the hat trick. And Gustafson stands his ground on that one. McMillan in the rapid zone to Liatino. Liatino throws that one in. And now Russell by the Voodoo's bench with the puck to Picard. Sent in looking for service. And now going the other way. French River to Bouchard. Bouchard to Flageau. Flageau on the sharp angle save. And now it's to Hatchier. Hatchier sends that one in. The puck jumps over Russell's stick, and Lemke's going to get the puck down the ice. And because it's on edge, it's just going to roll all the way down and go for icing here. If that puck wasn't on his edge, probably stopped up and the Voodoos would get a change out of it.
Well, unfortunately for the Voodoos, Riley Klugerman gives the Hearst Lumberjacks the lead at the 11:09 mark. So there's about 6 minutes to go in that game. 3-2 Hearst. Hopefully Kirkland Lake maybe can come away with a couple of quick ones, but it looks like the Voodoos are going to not be able to gain any round on the Hearst Lumberjacks here this evening, but they are playing them in the coming week or so, so that'll be a big game between the two of them.
I told you, Kirkland Lake, we could be best friends. I'm just saying.
They were mad about the 8-0 thrumping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them, but it's not you, it's me kind of thing at this point. As now the Voodoos with possession once again. Liatino in the middle of the ice for Smetham with a chance there as Gustafson stuck out a pad and just knocked that one to the side. Ricci takes the shot, a good tip there. Patrick with another goal here, his third of the game.
Well, it's a hat trick for Ryan Patrick, and I thought Stretchaluk kind of got interfered on that initial rush. I thought there might have been a call, no call coming, and obviously a great kind of opportunity there as it's Patrick getting his first, I believe his first hat trick of the season here for him as great. That's just a great job from that line, and again, if you look at Gustafson, he's just very struggling right now in the net, as him and Purdue both have not been looked very sharp, as now it's a 7-2 game.
Patrick up to 15 goals now, as we're going to get a few more whistles here as some more words are being exchanged between the two sides. Patrick with a gorgeous goal for the second of the game. Then a nice tip, very nice tip. And right from where our angle is here, you could see that puck change directions. It was going to miss the net, but he just got it to sneak right in on the glove side of Gustafson. Up the ice, Laurent takes a hit there by Ricci, but he gets the puck into the Voodoo zone before trying to throw a hit of his own to O'Brien. Now, the French River with the puck in their own zone, given away out front. O'Brien tried to get a shot away, but just missed the net. 7-2 Voodoo's lead now. And now covered up by Gustafson.
And now we're starting to get some pushing and shoving here. Some really rough play, as French River obviously being frustrated. But you look at that last play, and it's Betham left wide open at in the front of the net. Nobody even close to him. And he was given all the time in the world in the high slot. And we talked earlier in the game about Blind River and French River in that game and how they played well, and then as the game went on, they played worse and worse. And it kind of feels that same way here, as they're running kind of out of gas. They're making a lot of mistakes. And the Voodoos, even though it was a very strong start for the Rapids, the Voodoos are just absolutely dominating them in the offensive zone.
Little tried to flip that one in for McMillan. McMillan also looking for a hat trick on the night. Trying to join Patrick. As now the puck to Service. Back behind the net. And that was McMillan back to Service. Service back to the point for Wilkie. Wilkie takes a shot. It's off the blocker. And now, a shot back in. Voodoos can't get it to settle down. Shields sends it in. McMillan out front for Shields. Couldn't get it to him. And now, French River going the other way. We're going to get a call here, though, as it looks like it's going to be a high sticking call. And still only sitting on 1 point in the game, though, is Alex Little.
Only 1 point,
yeah. Only 1 point.
Brandon Melson is going off for that high stick behind the play right in front of Gustafson, and it just feels like right now the wind out of the sail for the Rapids, as, again, coming to this period, you were down 5-1. They ended up getting a goal. They had all the pressure, gave up two goals, and all of a sudden you start getting kind of scrappy. You get a little frustrated, and now, assuming the Voodoos don't score here, there's only going to be about 4 minutes left in this hockey game after this period. The penalty's over.
Patrick looking for his fourth, gets it on net, saved by Gustafson. Back to the point for Strinchuluk. Strinchuluk skates it down the wall, back to Liatino. Liatino walks the line, takes a shot. That one just tipped wide of the net. Now Strinchuluk using his body to shield the puck. Gets it, throws it in deep for Smetham. Smetham back to Strinchuluk. Strinchuluk cross ice for Service. Service with the shot. Picked his corner, but picked it too well as it goes off the metal and up and out of play. So another stoppage here. 5:25 remaining. Still over a minute left on the power play. And Ben, you mentioned it earlier, the shots were closing a little bit. Well, it's back to a 10-shot differential, 37-27 for the Voodoos.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those instances where they just played so well, and then the tires fell off. As it looks like the Hearst Lumberjacks are going to put an icing on this one, as Tyler Pattinson picked up a goal at the 15-15 mark, so it's just about 3 minutes to go. Looks like Hearst will come away with at least a 4-2 victory, if not 5-2 if they decide to pull the goaltender.
That's okay, Kirkland Lake. I didn't want to be friends anyways, although you do have nice jerseys when you come here on the road. Well, that's all I'll give you. I will have to say, at least it looks like the Voodoos will wrap this one up so far, up 7-2 with 5 minutes left. So Powassan will keep in line with Hearst, at least. That is the one silver lining out of that one. And that's the other thing. Again, Hearst playing against, a lot of games against Cochrane and Kirkland Lake as well this year, as we're under a minute left on the man advantage. 4:45 remaining in this third period, 7-2. Wilkie up to Shields. Shields, cross ice. Gets the puck back, takes the shot. Gustafson stops that one. Lemke back to the point for Little. Little back to Lemke on the near side wall. In for Shields. Shields got ahead of creeping McMillan, and that one was stopped by Gustafson. So we'll get another stoppage here and an offensive draw
Well, we talked about how important that Timmins game is going to be tomorrow. The Voodoos their next 3 games are going to be on the road, and it's going to be a very important game. You look at, they play Timmins, of course, tomorrow at home. Then they go off, as you said, to Sudbury to play the Cubs. And then they get 1 game in there against Cochrane, which is going to be kind of an easier game. And then there's right to Hearst to play the Lumberjacks. So the next 3 of their 4 games are going to be against some really tough competition. And it's going to have to be, they're going to have their aim game there to try to get a couple of points and either overtake Hearst or keep up with them.
Well, that game in Hearst could very well become a very big game in deciding the fate in the East Division.
And just looking at the Hearst, they're going to be playing Kirkland Lake again tomorrow night at home.
Oh, come on.
Then they play Timmins in Timmins on Monday. Then they play Cochrane before they play Powassan. So on the flip side of that, they've got about 3 games that are easy, 2 games that are easier and 2 games that are harder.
And they'll be playing noticeably more games than the Voodoos as well.
Yeah. They do have a game on hand still on Powassan, but they played 1 more game than Powassan has.
Yeah, they played 1 more game.
Yeah.
And they'll be playing more games in that time than Powassan will be as well. Still on the power play, but not for much longer, as the puck is sent down to the Voodoos zone. And we're going to get back to 5-on-5 hockey here with just under 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Kelly up to Ricci. Cross ice for Fullerton, and then his clearing attempt, or his puck down the ice hits a stick, so it is into the Rapids zone with no icing. O'Brien tries to throw the puck into Vassos, and now Boucher with the puck. Battling for it. Kelly knocked off the puck by Bure, and Bure sends the puck up ice for Leotino to pick up at the red line and send it back in. 3 minutes remain, just over 3 minutes, I should say, in the 3rd period. Powassan up 7-2 over French River. We'll have our 3 players of the game, or 3 stars of the game, I should say, afterwards coming up. Smetham with a chance. And then keep an eye on Frontline Socials. We will have a post-game interview with a player or a coach. Undecided yet.
And I think 2 of those 3 stars are going to be pretty easy to figure out when you look at who scored the most amount of goals in this game.
In for Hill. Hill thrown to the ice. And now another chance for Ganagi. And now Leotino just keeps throwing him to the ice. And my goodness, it's looking like Stone Cold Steve Austin out there with the way the bodies are being flown around.
Yeah, he's going to get called for a hold here as Hill goes down and looks a little distraught there, as we've seen a lot of guys go down here, of course. We did see Tyson Risman unfortunately go to the hospital. Hopefully he'll be okay, as it looks like with the last 2:40 to go, it'll be the French River Rapids going on a quick power play, but in a 7-2 game. Game at this point pretty much already set in stone.
Offensive zone draw here for French River to the glove side of Flageau. Puck behind the net. And is sent down the ice now for Gustafson to play it. 1:40 remaining on the man advantage here. And holding, I mean, it looked more like a suplex.
That's the same thing.
Close enough. Russell. I know they have to call it something,
I don't
right?
think suplex is one of the approved
No.
calls.
From the top rope. Oh, my goodness. Campanella.
That'd be a fun one to see Wes McCauley call.
That would be. Wes McCauley's great. I don't even care if he calls a bad game. He's just funny. There's a puck sent down the ice. McMillan with some speed coming in on Ganagi. It's a good stick. And then Nagy knocks the stick out of his hand. So McMillan just says, all right, well, I'm just going to shove my stick up against the boards and try to kill as much time as I can before the Rapids come away with the puck. Less than a minute on the man advantage. 1.5 minutes remain in this game. As it's cross ice now. And that was a chance there by Picard. Some angry players on the French River benches slamming the door. And now Campanella can't get the shot away as he was in tight. Back to the point for Picard. Picard takes the shot. Turned aside by Flageau. Sharp angle chance, and then a wind up there by Russell. Sharp angle, misses the net. And that'll send fans to their cars here early or as we like to do in Northern Ontario, make sure they've started 10 minutes early.
Yeah, especially considering it's minus 17 and we're going to go with a bit of a cold spell as we just
Don't
had some
say
really
that.
nice warm weather.
Don't say that.
It's supposed to go down again next
Don't
week, but
say that.
it's going back up. Welcome to February in Northern Ontario.
Yeah, who knows what's going on anymore. You used to know what you were getting. My dad told me as Patrick tries to shove the puck down the ice, he was thinking of taking his ice shack off the ice still in February, and usually it's mid-March.
Well, now it's minus 17.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's happy. He also bought a brand new Skidoo, and he was a little bit distraught that he couldn't use it too much this winter. Into the far side corner. Trying to get the puck out. Patrick does. And now Kelly's going to have to chase after it. Getting word from General Manager Chris Dawson, who told me last game it was Tucker Shields. Now he's telling me it's going to be Ryan Patrick here as we're back to 5-on-5. That's who we will have post-game for our socials.
Obviously a hat trick for Patrick.
Uh-huh.
It rhymed.
Look at
That was unintentional.
Out front, Flageau with another big save there. 20 seconds remain. And back to the point now. Boucher in. Etche knocks that one aside, and a good blocker there by Flageau, and then he gets up and knocks his man down as he didn't really appreciate Etche coming in there with a last-minute attempt. 11.5 seconds remain. Voodoos still up 7-2.
Well, Joe's quietly having a really good game. 27 saves on 29 shots as really it's looked solid, especially in a couple of times where French River put a lot of pressure, if you remember back at the beginning of this period, and then it was kind of, there were flashes again where French River looked so strong, and then the Voodoos just have been able to take away any momentum that they've been able to build, and the biggest difference again has been the finishing touch, and the Voodoos have had it here today, and the Rapids have just not.
Ricci sends the puck down to the neutral zone. Rapids send the puck back in. Flageau kicks that one aside, and with 2 seconds left, that's going to do it here. Powassan will skate to a 7-2 win. And now we're going to get some rough stuff after the whistle on the near side half wall as the linesmen are quickly in there to try and split that one up. And you can tell these two teams are very familiar with one another as they take a couple of healthy whacks at each other after the whistle, including a former Voodoo, Will Bure, in there. But when it's all said and done, it's 2 points for the Voodoos to keep them on pace with the Hearst Lumberjacks, who will take down the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners here tonight. 7-2 victory for the Voodoos, Ben.
Yeah, and you look at this is now 10 straight wins for the Voodoos as they've continued to be very strong. They've got a big game tomorrow against Timmins. Something's going to give when you consider the Voodoos have won 10 straight, the Rock 11 straight. So one of those teams are going to come away, are going to break their winning streak. But overall, a very good game from the Voodoos. They found the finishing touch. Patrick a hat trick, and of course McMillan just shy of the hat trick with a pair of goals. And overall, a very strong game for the Voodoos. They've got to be very happy with their performance tonight.
Very happy indeed. And always good to see a hockey game end before 9:15 too, as well, as we're going to have our 3 stars of the game coming up momentarily.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Just waiting for the announcements now, but it looks like it's all white jerseys over there. So our 3rd star will be Chase Strenchaluk, number 23 for your Voodoos. Had himself a quiet but good game.
Yeah, 2 points. Actually, when I was kind of thinking who was going to get that 3rd star, that was the name that I had on my mind.
McMillan with 2 goals, picking up the 2nd star of the game, and who else could it be but Ryan Patrick as the 1st star for the Voodoos.
Got a hat trick.
Always good there. Always a good time when you put 3 past the goalie. And the Voodoos again up 7-2 here against the French River Rapids. Really like to see that one. And Powassan picking up an ever-important 2 points here before facing off against the Timmins Rock tomorrow night. And, of course, those pesky Greater Sudbury Cubs on Monday in Sudbury. I don't know why they're called Greater Sudbury. At this point, they do play within the city limits.
Sudbury's it's a place.
That's a good way of putting it. It is a place, the Nickel City for sure. And then it's also kind of funny that they're called the Cubs, but they're no longer the affiliate of the Wolves. So, and also they're the Cubs with a bear logo. Anyways, it is a nice arena, though. I'll give them that. It's a nice arena where the Wolves play, that's for sure, as we don't really have much to say left on that one. So that'll do it here this evening on the Frontline Game Day broadcast. I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Ben Sargent. Cameraman Mike, always doing a great job bringing some great visuals here to the broadcast. You can catch us again tomorrow night as the Timmins Rock come to Powassan. As if you're not sick of us saying that one yet. Should be a good one here. As Ben mentioned, 2 winning streaks on the line between those two teams. And as we said, should be a good one. It'll be Matt Sukram, Andrew White for you tomorrow night. And then we will have a surprise for you on Sunday as we're bringing you the 3rd and final game of the Team NOHA camp this weekend. Lots of talented under 16 players from all over Northern Ontario descending on North Bay this weekend. Should be a good one. That'll be from Memorial Gardens. And then after that, well, it's going to be a little while since we have another Frontline Game Day broadcast because all the teams we cover are on the road. So, if you like what you've heard, keep an eye on the front line. I'm Courtney Kenny. Have a good night.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.